Right now, more than 30 million Americans who rely on federal help to buy food will no longer receive extra pandemic-era benefits. How food banks are preparing for an increase in demand.
Also, the latest on a UW graduate student arrested by the FBI after making active shooter threats on social media.
And later, state consumer officials are celebrating the Bureau of Weights and Measures for its work in making sure consumers are getting exactly what they pay for. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Pandemic-era extra food assistance is coming to an end today, and that leaves nearly 20,000 Dane County residents bracing for a tougher time putting food on the table.
Our Braden Ross spoke with a local food bank today to learn how they're preparing to pick up the slack.
Yeah, the end of this funding means families could see anywhere from $95 to $250 a month less in food assistance. It's something local food banks like Second Harvest say will have a big impact, especially since the demand isn't slowing down.
It's been a huge impact for the last couple of years, and we really anticipate that those families are still struggling.
Since the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, first got an extra funding boost during the pandemic in 2020, it's helped thousands of Wisconsinites put food on the table. But now that extra funding is ending, and it could leave many in a tough spot.
It's young, it's old, it's families, it's single people, it's men, it's women, it's any kind of demographic you can think of. There are folks who do struggle with hunger within that demographic.
In Dane County, nearly 20,000 people are expected to be affected.
That's about 1.4 million meals that are going to be lost in Dane County alone every month. And so where are those folks going to go to get those meals?
Food banks like Second Harvest are working to pick up the slack, but they say it's hard when the demand is still the same.
To be honest, we are essentially at pandemic level distribution numbers over the last several months.
The end of extra SNAP funding also comes at a time when inflation has put food costs at an all-time high.
The numbers on food inflation are still pretty high, and so that is going to mean that for those folks who have limited resources, that where else are they going to turn? Either they're going to go without, or they're going to turn to one of our partner agencies for some support.
In response to the end of extra funding, Dane County Executive Joe Parisi dedicated $7.5 million in his 2023 budget to supporting local food banks. You can find all the information you need to donate or volunteer to help those in need online at secondharvestmadison.org.
The head of the State Assembly's Higher Education Committee wants to limit future UW tuition increases to no more than the rate of inflation. GOP lawmakers froze in-state undergraduate tuitions in 2013, but lifted the freeze in 2021, allowing the UW Board of Regents to raise tuitions if they so choose. The board hasn't made any increases since the freeze was lifted, relying partly on federal pandemic relief funds to cover costs. But Governor Evers' budget would leave the system about $130 million short of what the regents say they need to run their campuses over the next 2 years. And let's check the first warn forecast now with Julian Seawright.
Well, we've been getting a gust of some wind here on our weather patio for about the last hour or so, and it's still rather breezy throughout much of southern Wisconsin. But the good news is, though, folks, is that today is March 1st, so it is the mark of meteorological spring, and hopefully things are going to be in the up and up as we continue throughout the rest of the month of March. We had a beautiful sunset here in Madison and a beautiful day in itself. It was another windows down type of day for us as temperatures were in the 50s, but now we're leading into the upper 40s as of right now and going to continue to dive into those 30s as we head closer to the midnight hour. Temperatures around southern Wisconsin into the upper 40s. Madison's actually one of the warmer spots as of right now with 50 degrees in Janesville and 42 in for Platteville. You can see where that cold front is starting to roll its way into the northern western side of southern Wisconsin, and is going to continue to track its way to the rest of the area. Around Dane County, we're all holding into those upper 40s, so not too bad as we're getting into the rest of this evening. But again, the winds are a bit of the issue. Now, gusts are what we're feeling here in Madison as of right now, but consistent wind speeds from Platteville to Monroe have been holding into those lower to middle 20 miles per hour range throughout the past couple of hours. Now, planning out tonight's expected to be a chillier one. We're going to see many areas just a couple degrees below the freezing points. But again, we are going to be talking about the alert day, which is coming into our Friday, starting Friday morning into our Friday evening. Accumulating snowfall is what we're tracking. We'll give you the latest details in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. Madison police are asking the public for help with identifying a man they say beat up 2 people at an East Side laundromat over the weekend. The incident happened in the 3700 block of Milwaukee Street. It started when the victims of the attack stole the suspect's clothes out of a dryer. Now take a good look. This is a photo of the suspect. He later confronted the two people after he saw one of them wearing his sweatshirt. Police say he beat the two individuals after they returned his clothing. At least one of the victims was hospitalized. Anyone who recognizes the suspect is asked to call Madison area Crime Stoppers.
A 26-year-old UW grad student was arrested by the FBI on terrorist charges after making active shooter threats on the social media app Yik Yak. Police found an unloaded gun in the suspect Thomas Hansen's off-campus apartment. Hansen has been banned from campus but was released on signature bond yesterday. News 3 Now spoke to students on campus.
Makes me a little scared to be, on campus, knowing that there's a lot of things like this that happen currently. And as a student who's someone who doesn't have like a form of transportation like a car or anything, it can be kind of scary to know that when you're walking out here, you could be in danger.
The threats in part read, quote, "I'm getting to that point where I think I should stop trying to date and start sneaking guns into crowded school buildings," end quote.
Police are investigating on Madison's south side after several people reported hearing gunshots this morning. Officers were dispatched to the intersection of Bram and Custer Streets shortly after 10:30 a.m. No word on if they found any evidence. No injuries have been reported and no one has been arrested. Madison firefighters are working to determine the cause of a fire at a north side apartment building after receiving several reports of heavy black smoke coming from the building. Multiple units responded to the 2400 block of Brentwood Parkway shortly before 11 a.m. When crews got there, they found heavy smoke and heat, but no active flames. Firefighters were able to help a person get out of the building. No one was injured, and crews are still working to determine how many residents were displaced.
25 years ago this week, Father Alfred Coons was found brutally murdered in the hallway at a parish school in the village of Dane. All these years later, it remains one of Dane County's most disturbing unsolved cases. As we approach the anniversary of the priest's passing this weekend, it raises the question for now retired Sheriff Dave Mahoney, who was a detective when it happened, will it ever be resolved?
Because it's 25 years old, you start to worry about, one, people getting apathetic to the case, two, people dying off that may have information.
Mahoney prioritized the case through his time in office and calls it one of just a few cases that still gnaws at him to this day, that it remains unsolved and the nature of the brutal crime. We revisit the case for the entire story as the search for a killer continues a quarter century later. That's tonight at 10.
Well, this week, DATCAP is aiming to celebrate the Bureau of Weights and Measures. Over the past couple of years, data shows the department has had an increase in fines for violations. Our Catherine Merck tells us about some of the increases the department has seen in the past year for holding businesses accountable. Catherine?
Last year, DATCAP Weights and Measures inspections resulted in over $300,000 taken back from companies not giving customers the full value of their product. Take a look at some of the trends over the past 2 years. In 2021, DATCAP charged a total of around $204,000. That number was up nearly $100,000 more in fines in 2022. Those fines toward businesses come after DATCAP finds things like low fuel quality, product quantity misrepresentations, and other violations. DATCAP says this is because fines go higher for repeat offenders, which they've had some of.
When you have repeat violators, we have a progressive enforcement procedure, and as the same violation occurs with the same violators, we progressively increase the enforcement.
The department says this week it's celebrating many years aiming to give consumers the most accurate prices. The first U.S. Weights and Measures law was by President John Adams back in 1799.
Catherine, thank you. The city of Fitchburg's Common Council chambers will soon carry the name of one of the state's political trailblazers. On March 8th, the chambers will be dedicated to former Mayor Frances Huntley Cooper, who became the first black mayor elected in Wisconsin history. She served as Fitchburg's mayor from 1991 to 93 after previously serving as an alder there. The dedication will include a plaque unveiling, which highlights her contributions. The public event is scheduled to begin at 5 p.m. at Fitchburg City Hall.
Coming up, lawmakers look to find a way to handle the fentanyl crisis here in the U.S.
Plus, in a move that could help millions dealing with diabetes, a major drug company announces it is lowering its insulin prices. The story next.
What can Sono Bello do for you? How about a new shape?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
New confidence.
I can see a huge difference. Look at this.
New you.
I can wear a little black dress. I feel sexy.
With Sono Bello, you can permanently remove stubborn fat in just one visit. Don't wait. The results I've seen achieved are truly outstanding.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation with Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and find out how you can get $250 off. Sono Bello uses Tri-Sculpt micro-laser liposuction to remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently for incredible transformations in just one visit.
I have one big regret. I didn't go sooner.
Call 1-888-622-8360 or go to sonobello.com.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone in Wisconsin can call, text, or chat to get connected to a trained 988 counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you're concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you.
Steinhaffel's amazing Buy More, Save More sale is the perfect time to spruce up your home. Start with 35 to 50% off store-wide. Then take an extra $100 off $19.99, $200 off $29.99, or $300 off $39.99 or more. Refresh your home with a new bedroom set, cozy sofa, or new dining set. You'll even find special mattress deals too. The more you buy, the more you're gonna save. So shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly is cutting the price of its insulin products. Lilly's CEO announced it was capping the out-of-pocket cost of the life-saving drug at $35. As of May 1st, Lilly is also reducing the list price of its non-branded insulin to $25 a vial. Right now, it is listed at $82 a vial. Although insulin is relatively inexpensive to manufacture, the cost has been rising for years. The American Diabetes Association says the average price of insulin nearly tripled between 2002 and 2013.
But we call on everyone to meet us at this point and take this issue away from, a disease that's stressful and difficult to manage already. Take away the affordability challenges.
Demand has increased as diabetes becomes the fastest growing chronic disease in the world. According to the CDC, 37 million adults in the U.S. are diabetic. There's a troubling rise of colorectal cancer among U.S. adults younger than 55 years old. According to the American Cancer Society, 20% of new cases of colon and rectal cancers are among Americans in their early 50s or younger. In 1995, the proportion of those cancers among that age group was just over 10%. Doctors aren't sure what is causing the increase. The good news, though, the report found more people today are surviving colorectal cancer.
The House of Representatives struggling to find common ground on a solution to the fentanyl crisis in America. According to the CDC, fentanyl has become the leading cause of death for Americans ages 18 to 45. Now, most of the drugs enter the U.S. through the southern border, and while politicians on both sides of the aisle agree there needs to be stronger policies to stem the flow of fentanyl into the U.S., the solutions have become very political.
To ignore the smuggling that occurs between our ports of entry is simply irresponsible and dangerous.
While it is true that a great deal of fentanyl comes into the United States from Mexico, it is overwhelmingly U.S. citizens, not migrants, who are bringing it in.
And there was also plenty of discussion about the U.S. policy with China, where the majority of components for fentanyl are made. Still ahead, why a popular car company is recalling thousands of its vehicles.
Also, with spring right around the corner, many kids are getting ready for another sports season. How you can help them out.
Plus, temperatures cooling off for the rest of the work week. Julian has a complete look at the forecast after the break.
Spring is in the air, and you know what that means. It's Feldco season.
Feldco season. It means 50% off windows with no money down, no payments, and no interest until 2024. So you can replace those eyesores without breaking the bank. It means getting the windows you want fast, so your home's ready for the warmer weather ahead. It's the season of home renewal. It's Feldco season.
This offer won't last long. Hurry, call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Dan Kelly won't keep our community safe. As a lawyer, Kelly defended child sex predators who posed as ministers in order to prey on vulnerable young girls. They lured young children to locations they believed to be safe, only to sexually assault and molest them. And Dan Kelly defended those monsters. Do you want someone like that on the Supreme Court? Dan Kelly, an extremist who doesn't care about us.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com. Come on out. I'm on it. 4imprint, for certain.
DePaco Credit Union protects your well-being, supports you through life's many surprises. Because when our members love life, it makes a brighter community for all. DePaco can help you be well.
Direct from Las Vegas. Oh, what a night. 4 exciting entertainers performing live that feel-good music you grew up with. Oh, what a night. An incredible tribute to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Oh, what a night. Saturday, March 11th, 2 p.m. in the Capitol Theater at the Overture Center for the Arts, Madison. Wednesday, March 15th, 7 p.m., Mineral Point Opera House. Get your tickets now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
If you drive a Nissan Rogue, listen up. The car maker recalling more than 712,000 Rogues and Rogue Sport compact SUVs. The reason? They can shut off accidentally while driving. The recall is for Nissan Rogues model years 2016 through 2020 and the Rogue Sports from 2017 to 2022. Now, in the design, an internal joint in the key that can weaken over time may allow the key to accidentally fold while it's in use. Now, if it's bumped while in the ignition, the vehicle can accidentally be turned off. Right now, Nissan says it doesn't currently have a solution to this problem, but advises drivers to avoid attaching anything to the ignition key that might weigh it down.
Spring sports season will be here before you know it, which means young athletes may need some help to get game ready. Well, today we spoke with Dr. Catherine Fox, a sports medicine physician from SSM Health, about the things parents need to be aware of when getting their kids ready for this season. She recommended ramping up activity levels for children in simple ways, such as parking at the far end of the grocery store parking lot. She also talked about the importance of sunscreen, recommending sunscreen at least SPF 50.
Get a child-appropriate sunscreen that you know that doesn't bother their skin, they can tolerate, and leave it in their bathroom for them to put on in the morning. You know, once kids are 6, 7, 8 years old, they can start doing this. So you can put it in a bag, you can have an extra tube in their bathroom, and they can put it on their face in the morning.
Dr. Fox also emphasized making sure young athletes are hydrated, but not focusing on drinking specific amounts of water, instead drinking to thirst. Well, a quiet start to March, but there's a chance we could see some snow on Friday. Here's Julian with the complete forecast.
That's right, Charlotte. And to start things off with that, we're going to look at our weather headlines. The 3 things we'll need to know, because today was a wonderful start to March 1st. We're looking at 50s throughout the day, but now we've felt those breezier conditions roll its way in, which is going to drop the colder temperatures going into tonight. So expect a quiet one through Thursday, but temperatures are not going to be nearly as nice as they were for today. We're going to see those upper to middle 30s heading into our Thursday, but then we are watching for potential of some snow coming into our Friday morning and our Friday evening. Now again, those gusty winds, 18 miles per hour here in Madison currently, but our friends just to the west are dealing with middle to upper 20s in terms of miles per hour. So it's definitely quite a breezy start to our evening, and it's just going to stay like that until we get into the later parts of tonight. Temperatures will fall into the upper 20s for Madison, lower 30s throughout much of southern Wisconsin, but we're going to to see those cloudy conditions stick around even through tomorrow. So we're going to see our high only around 37 degrees in Madison, 40 for Janesville, and around 39 degrees in Fort Platteville. So planning out the day, here's what we're going to see. Overnight, going to see those temperatures drop just below freezing. And as we head out the door for our Thursday, cloudy conditions, but the wind speeds are not going to be nearly as intense as they were for this evening. Going into our Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, staying on the quiet side, but on the cloudy side as well. And then we're going to start to see some potential changes going into our Friday, which is what prompts our alert day for accumulating snow, not necessarily a snowstorm. Accumulating snowfall is what we're going to be watching for coming into southern Wisconsin, but it's mainly going to be to the southernmost reaches of southern Wisconsin. So from Dane County to the southeast is where we're really watching for any accumulating snow that could interrupt your Friday morning commute and for your Friday evening as well. We are looking for 1 to 5 inches of snowfall from this system in itself. It's not going to be a whole lot, but it's still enough to make some disruptive conditions for you heading into that timeline. Now, there's been plenty of uncertainty as we've been tracking this system, specifically just where it's going to be moving to. Now, as of right now, this is one run that has been trying to push the system more south, which will be bringing in heavier rainfall just south of Chicago and pretty much missing the entire upper Midwest itself. And as we continue throughout the rest, as you see, for our Friday afternoon and Friday evening, things are staying to the south in itself, and we're not going to be getting much in terms of that run. But here's another one, which is trending more north. This is going to be bringing a bit more of a mixture and some snowfall, just clipping Dane County into that southeastern corridor of southern Wisconsin towards the Chicago area, which is where we're looking for it to be the best opportunity for us to see any kind of snowfall or any precipitation accumulating from this event in itself. Now, our forecast from the First Warn Weather Team, this is what we've been watching, and any kind of shift that we've made is mainly made Dane County and areas just halfway through Rock County being about 1 to 3 inches of potential accumulated snowfall. Areas just south of Kenosha near Chicago has the narrow band of snowfall that could potentially see maybe more, around 6 inches. But overall, 1 to 5 inches is all we're really going to be looking for throughout much of this event if it continues this current trend. Outside of that, here's a look at what we're seeing for our 10-day forecast. Once we're done with the alert day, it's going to be pretty quiet heading into the weekend. Temperatures into the 40s. We do have an opportunity to see some more activity going into our Sunday and Monday, but otherwise, we're going to be staying the course of seasonable weather heading into next week.
Julian, thank you. The legendary rock band KISS has announced its final tour. The End of the Road tour will kick off this October down in Austin, Texas. KISS will make 18 stops, including cities like Los Angeles, Seattle, Knoxville, and Montreal. No shows in Wisconsin, but they get pretty close. There's one down in Rosemont on November 27th. The band will finish their career near where they started 50 years ago at New York City's Madison Square Garden. Tickets for the show sold by Live Nation will be available starting on Monday.
And coming up in sports, Caroline Harvey joined some elite list of Badgers with her latest conference honor. Why winning it wasn't a shock if you've seen her skate this season. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Morning. Who said that? Whoa, where did that come from? Floating money.
Funny.
Good luck out there.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
This is Matt Gunderson, and this is Elmer, our canine cuddle ambassador, here to provide good-natured, loving, fuzzy support to further our level of personal care. Someday you might meet Elmer as we assist you with an individual life celebration.
Surgenian's 93-year history means you pay $93 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 12-month financing. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
The sun has risen, the pride has returned, and the time has come
to join the circle of life at the Lion King.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Hey, lady, when is the baby coming?
Very, very soon.
Dad, what about yours?
You're gonna... Yeah, okay, well.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather. When severe weather is on the way, find out first with Madison's certified most accurate forecast. Trust our team to keep you informed before, during, and after. First Warn Weather, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms.
In Wisconsin women's hockey history, 6 Badgers have been named WCHA Rookie of the Year. Caroline Harvey made it 7 today, and the UW freshman did it with ease. In her first year skating in Madison, Harvey tallied 35 points, scoring 11 goals while dishing out 24 assists. Her points led all rookies and ranked 3rd for the Badgers. Harvey was also named to the conference's all-rookie team. The Oregon boys hockey team has been buzzing this week. Tomorrow they'll make their first appearance at the state tournament. And for head coach Larry Clemens, he credits this trip to his program's culture of being committed and connected.
Oregon isn't a flashy team on the ice.
We're a gritty team. That's what we are. We just try to outwork.
Or as they like to say, they're will over skill.
We're going to kind of just blue collar it, right? We're going to get pucks to the net, and we're going to play hard, and we're just going to try to outwill you.
That grit helped this team make history.
It's probably one of the best days of our lives.
And advance to the state tournament for the first time.
I almost was emotionless. Like, I didn't even know how to feel. I was nearly shocked.
To get there, the Panthers stuck with Larry Clemens and his plan of being committed and connected.
Staying committed to the team, staying committed to the bit, staying committed to our process, right? Don't jump ship, and then stay connected as a team. No one's getting negative in the locker room. It's just stay committed, stay connected all the way through, and we'll find success.
Committed to the goal of playing better hockey.
When we say that, we're talking even like outside of practice, outside of hockey, like as a person in general, just being a good human being. And like I believe that that's going to like help us become like a better team. And like obviously it has.
And connected to each other to become better people.
This is a privilege for these guys to be able to go to a state tournament, and first time in history for Oregon to do it. But to walk away from the game and like find some good life habits. And I think that committed, connected, something that will stick with all of them. Look at all this pressure they got, huh?
Oregon, Verona, and Madison Metro going for us for state hockey.
Best of luck to all those teams. Quick final check of the forecast.
Well, outside of the alert day, we're just watching for potential of accumulating snowfall, but then a quiet weekend's on tap.
Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.